Okay, just an update here on the van build. So I actually turned this around. So this one can be accessed while you're inside the van, which makes sense, right? And then that one is still the same way you access it from the back. So that comes up this way, this one goes up this way. And when I cut it, I have this section in here. I could have left it, I guess, and then still used it. The whole thing could have been up on a hinge, but I think that back corner might have binded a bit. So I just cut this kind of oval cutout here, half oval cutout. So you can get your hand right in there and put whatever in there. I don't know, if it's kitchen stuff, spices or whatever. And now this was holding the seat belt in. I took all the seat belts out for the back. Don't need those anymore. And but this, I used the bolt that was here, and this is just it's a bracket for a door jamb. And I flattened this metal piece here, and then I had to use a jigsaw to cut it so the bolt would fit through. So that's on there nice and tight now, and that's going to be a mounting point for, I think I'm going to use 2x6 right along here, so going all the way along here. And there's another bolt in the floor there. I'll make another mounting bracket with that. And so there'll be a piece that goes off there. So this can tie into that. It'll tie in here. And then I'll be mounting a block like this, similar to this, to the plywood. And then the 2x6 will mount here. So it's gonna be off the ground a bit here, which is fine. And get still have access to this hole I just cut out. Okay, and then I can screw it. This is not very strong really, but over here it's stronger when it's maybe right against the wall. I could screw into there with the block. Anyway, I'll figure it out. But this is just a rough idea at this point, but I'm designing this on the fly. So once I have a secure 2x6 all the way across, I can just mount everything on that. I can mount a table, a small table here. I might put a sink in it, but I want I also want to hide this thing, so it'll be elevated the height of a 2x6, and sticking out right around there, I guess. I'll figure out what kind of design I'll do for that. And so the table can come right about here, and then I might have to do a little cutout again, depending on where they put the tabletop, just so you can get your finger in there and pop this open. I could do away with that, I guess. This can come off. That might be a, well, no, I guess it can't. It's built right in there, isn't it? I think. I don't know, maybe. Well, this seems to be tied to this. Okay, so well, that's handy to have anyway, and that's a nice level for a table, and then you got a couple of cup holders there. So and depending what I would do, I might even take this little table thing off and just have this as open. Again, you put spices or whatever in there, but it all starts with a base. You've got to have a good base, and so I got ideas for that now. Okay, just on cue, the dog starts barking. Okay, here's this apparatus I built. Yeah, so this is fastened down here. There's also that bolt for a seat belt. I fastened it to there, and further up it's just got a brace against the wall. And these are sitting on the chair brackets where you put the chairs in. There's one there and one here. So the weight is sitting on those. And not quite square, but it's hard to do it against the wall here. I got two brackets in there. The first one has wood backing, so it gives it strength. The second one, I can't get any backing in there, so the strength is really on this one here, but together they're good. It's all glued as well. So there's the water jug. It just fits snugly, which is great. So I'll put a block there so it won't, when I put it in, it won't go further. And then I'm not sure what I'll do with this section here. I'll put a door in the back here, I guess. I'm not sure. Maybe make a cupboard out of it. Put a shelf in there. And this here, I want to fit one of those 5-pound propane tanks in there. And I can put a vent out to here, and then this part will be closed off. And so if there's any gas leak, propane sinks to the lowest point as far as I recall. So it'll just go out the vent. It won't come inside the van. But I can also use those little bottles, I guess, but it's cheaper to use a 5-pound tank once you get set up and if you use it regularly. Okay, so I'll come around the other side here. So there it is. Now I didn't form it to the wall here. I got the speaker here. So I'm not sure what I'll do here. We'll see. I just want to get, and then this is a table, so I can put some kind of a nice surface on there, you know. I'll paint it for now. It's good enough for now, but yeah, maybe we'll put something on there. And I had to cut a little space here to open this. I'll trim them down a bit there. It was hitting a bit, and I'll repaint that. Yeah, so there it is. That's my water. Well, actually, I could put a little sink in maybe, but well, I'll have one of those collapsible. Those collapsible sinks. It's easier to use. You can just fill it up here. Okay, there's the somewhat finished product. I'll be tweaking it for sure, and I'm going to build something here for the propane tank, as I mentioned. This thing used to be a firebox. It came with a wood stove I bought. It just happened to fit in there perfectly, and the water jug fits on the other side perfectly as well. So I don't like the rope handles. I might cut those off and paint the whole thing the same color as everything else here, gray, or do something different.